Hello knitters, Faylin from Strands Knitting Studio in San Clemente, California. I have Off My Needles, On My Needles classes. Stay tuned. The hat's done. This is Sandpiper Hat by, I don't think I can say her whole name. Was she the right one? No, Erin Gates. Sandpiper Hat by Erin Gates. This is a cable and twisted, this is a twisted stitch and cables. Well, this is a right twist. That's a right twist. This is a twisted stitch. This is knit in the backwards. So this is a twisted rib, twisted stitch, and twisted cables. It's a twisted hat. Anyways, this was a lot of fun. This is a hat that you will have needed to, you need to be comfortable with hats and doing, actually you don't have to do magic loop until just like the very, very end of it, or 2 circulars. And we use Big Merino, which is a wool. So you're on a size 8 and a 10. So you're on an 8 for the rib and the 10 for the rest of the hat. So this is an upcoming class. I haven't put a date on it yet. It's a thick hat. So this is really good. If you have people that live in cold parts of the country, this is a really good hat because it's a heavy, thick hat because of all the cabling. So it's basically almost double stranded. It's double, yeah, it feels like it's double fabric because of the twisting you're doing with all the stitches. They're crossing over each other, which is creating extra fabric. So it's a nice thick hat, and it's really, really good for skiing or people who live where it gets cold. They really need a hat. And this class will be coming up at some point, so just keep an eye out for it. Okay, so On My Needles is the Lena scarf, which is the one we showed last week, and we did a class on this. So this is gonna be my travel knitting. I'm going on a little short vacation with my sisters in California, so we're not going far. And but I need something to travel with because you always have to have travel knitting. You always have to have travel knitting. And it should be simple and not, so you don't have to think about it. So you can be talking to people, and you're not concentrating on what you're doing. Well, maybe a little bit. But so this is the Lena scarf. Now the Lena scarf has 3 sections where you're adding a stitch and 2 sections where you're taking away a stitch. And so to make this, so you're going to use markers. First of all, you're going to put a marker where that is, so that every time I hit a marker, I know I'm either adding or I'm subtracting stitches, whatever the case may be. Now, to make it so that I don't have to look back and see how many markers I'm in, I color code my markers. Okay, so the blue ones I'm adding, the yellow ones I'm taking away, so that I can just look at it. I know, okay, I'm taking away on this one. Okay, I'm adding on this one. I don't have to look back and go, which one am I on? Nothing like that, because you're going to get off pattern with this. So you don't have to be looking at a pattern, because you do this row every other row for 6 feet. You will get off pattern, I guarantee it. Okay, but use your markers. So markers are really an amazing tool. They're like so amazing. So use your markers to help you with counting or marking things that happen at the same place all the time. And again, like if you have something like this where you're alternating between something, color code them. Use different colors. Use the same color for the same action that you're doing. And I can't tell you, that's going to take so much, you're just going to get the pattern so much faster, and it'll really take away a lot of the mistakes of doing the wrong thing at the wrong time, adding here instead of taking away here, doing add 1 instead of knit 2 togethers on this one. So color coding your markers is a really good thing. Okay, first class is this weekend on August 31st, which is a Saturday. And that's the Karen's bag and the market bag. So using the Karen's ribbon yarn. So this is our ribbon yarn. This class is this weekend. And it's beautiful colors. And it's ribbon. So it's literally ribbon. So one of the knit bag that you have a choice of is this one, which is a market bag. And I want you to be able to, you need to have knit up the bottom of this. At least try to get it knitted up, because it's gonna take, I don't know, like 45 minutes to an hour to knit this up. And I'd rather get you through the class up to this part where it's fun. So if you can come in and get supplies, or come, so yeah, if you can come in, this class is at 12. So you could even come in I have a 10 to 12 workshop on Saturday. You could come in for the 10 to 12 workshop or come at 11 o'clock and cast it on and get your bottom knitted before class starts at 12. That would be a good idea. So anyways, you do that, then we're gonna pick up around, and then we start the slip stitch pattern. So you have 2 colors going. You're only carrying 1 color at a time. You do 1 color for 2 rows. You pick it up, you do the next color for 2 rows. I showed you the seaming, not the seaming, the carrying up of yarn last time. So here you can see how it's carried up along the inside. So you just pick up the yarn and start knitting with the new yarn. It's super simple. This is a very fun bag. Everybody knits this bag said this is just so much fun. Watching the colors, it's simple. It becomes pretty brainless. So this is a great bag. This is the small. There is a large size. This one needs 1 of 2 skeins, 1 of each color or 2 of the same. The other one needs 3 skeins, and it'll need obviously 2 of one color and 1 of the other. So that is the market bag this Saturday. And then the crochet version is the big granny square. So this is the crochet version of the Caron. So this also uses Caron's yarn. These are all Caron's yarns. And this one starts at the bottom in this rectangle, rectangle at the bottom. But then that's the hardest part, is getting this rectangle thing going. And then after that, it's a granny square. And it's on big needles and everything. So it's a lot of fun, and it goes pretty fast. And again, Caron's yarn. I don't know the amounts right now. So at least 1 of each color. I don't know if you need a 3rd. You might need a 2nd of the green because you have all this up here you have to do. So so you may need 3 skeins, but the pattern says so. I just don't know what it is off the top of my head. All right, so that class is this Saturday from 12 to 2. And again, if you need to get started on the market bag to knit the bottom, feel free to come, you know, at 11 o'clock or something, 10 o'clock if you want to, on Saturday for that workshop. And then you'll be ready for the class. Okay, so the next class coming up is the Cancun Boxy Top. Cancun Boxy Top, which is Sunday the 1st. Sunday the 1st, and it's from 12 to 2. So I moved the time to 12 to 2 on Sunday. Sunday the 1st from 12 to 2. This is a rectangle. This is a very beginner-friendly first sweater ever top. You can eliminate lace. You can do as much lace or as little lace as you want. You're knitting rectangles. You can add, this is a drop shoulder because the rectangle is bigger than your body. You make the rectangle bigger. So then part of the rectangle falls down on your arm. So that you've got that sort of like a cap kind of sleeve, depending on how much bigger it is. If it's a lot bigger, like if you're doing one with lots of ease, then it'll go down pretty far on your arms. And if I wanted to add sleeves to mine, so I added sleeves. Sleeves are an option. They're pretty easy to add. So Cancun, as I said, almost any yarn, DK worsted. I would keep DK or worsted. That's what I would do. And you can, any yarn sort of works. So this is more of the summer weights, but you could do a heavier weight if you wanted to. So all we do is you need to cast on for your swatch, which you're going to cast on 30 stitches, knit a row, purl a row for about 3 inches, and bring that to class. Bring the top that measures what you want this one to fit like. It can be any kind of top, a t-shirt, a sweater, a button down. It doesn't matter. We just need measurements. And once we have the width measurement, then we just times out by the number of stitches, and we know how many to cast on. And then you're off to the races. So that's Sunday from 12 to 2. Okay, so this is the Versa Cowl, which I did this was a vacation knit for me. For my my niece's wedding trip up to Monterey Bay area. So, wait, I'm doing it backwards. Hold on. Okay. All right. So this is the Versa Cowl. We haven't had a lot of these knitted. This is a very fun knit. It's a big tube. So you're in the round. It's a big tube. And it folds down. So let's see, so you just put it literally on like this, and then it just sort of does its thing. It sort of goes with this. Take this part off. So, and then it just sits there, and you don't have to think about it. I love cowls because you don't have to think about them. You're not constantly trying to wrap things around. This one is, you can make it not quite so wide. If you make it thinner, then you actually get 2 cowls out of the 2 skeins of yarn that this uses. So you've got one color. So we use Dream, and I'm going to show you Dream because Dream is really the best one to do this with because it's so soft and squishy and fabulous. So you have a solid color, Dream, and then you have a multi of some sort. So I don't have the exact, I have this green, but I don't have this burgundy kind of color. But you can mix solids too. It doesn't have to be a multi, it can be two solids. And then we have tons of choices. So you could do like that one. And this would be a really pretty neutral one. This would be gorgeous. That would be gorgeous. This one would be pretty, a beautiful one, because this has these little burnt orange. See the little orange in there? So you put this with it. This would be really, really pretty. And then I've got this one out. This is like gorgeous also. This one. And again, you can use two solids. You can use other DK weight yarns. You could do a worsted weight. It would just end up being a little bigger, or we'll take some, don't cast on quite so many stitches, that kind of thing. But, so you need one of each color. These are 270 yards per skein. So it's basically 520, 30 yards, something like that. So, yes, so this class, and this is such a fun knit, you guys. This class is on September 7th, which is a Saturday from 12 to 2. And you can choose from all these yarns right up here. Beautiful. These are just, the Dream is a cashmere blend. It's a merino cashmere blend, and we've done so much out of this yarn. And for a while, everything I knitted was out of this yarn. I finally sort of moved away from it because we have too many samples out of this yarn now. But this is yummy, yummy, yummy yarn, and it's lovely to knit with, and everybody loves knitting with it. It's just a great yarn. And this is a great cowl and a great gift. This is a great Christmas gift. So again, starting to think of Christmas gifts. This is a great Christmas gift. And again, if you make it just not quite so wide, then you have enough to make two out of your two skeins. That's a good deal. All right, so I'm gonna have an advanced knitting class, an adventurous, like a good intermediate class. I'd call it maybe an intermediate class for coming up in September. So this is the butterfly shawl. Papillon is the other name for it. This is such a great knit, but this is an involved knit. I mean, it's not really that slow, but it is involved. It is involved. It's a lot of short rows. So all the shapes are made with short rows. The colors you see is the yarn, and then I have a black in there, and that's the solid. It's the black sort of separating things. So this is going to be on September 21st, 12 to 2. And again, this is short rowing. It's short rowing. It's a lot of pattern. It's a wonderfully written pattern, but it's still an involved pattern. And so this is more the intermediate to advanced knitter, you know, because it's keeping track. It's always about keeping track of where you're at. And so I've figured out there's a marker system, because that's my favorite, that made this go much better, and I didn't get lost so much. I started this multiple times before I figured it out, so I didn't get lost, because she has one marker in there, and I still don't know why that marker's there. But anyways, there's like 2 markers that you're using the whole time. You're just moving them with you, so you know where you're going, you know where to count from. It just made everything easy. So you need 2 skeins of the colors and 1 skein of the thing. It is a fingering weight. I'll have to put down, I don't know what needle size you're on. I mean, you're not on a teeny tiny needle. And this is garter. It's all knit. There's no purling in this. It's all knit. So it's just all about the short rows. It's all about the short rows. So, but we have our earth, and this is earth yarn. So we have some earth yarn in now. We haven't had it for a while. So we have multiple options. Now, there are a lot of these on Ravelry. I highly suggest you go on Ravelry and put like earth yarn. Once you get the patterns, you know, you're looking at everybody's patterns. Unique or earth yarn, and it's URTH, earth. And right here, earth yarn. And see ones that are knitted with this, which there's tons, because this is the pattern. The pattern sample itself is out of this yarn. So there's tons of options. Now, we don't have all those options. We have a very small select of the options, but you could, you know, like this is sort of browns and creams with a cream. So it's mostly you need to look at this part. What does it look like with a cream background? What does it look like with like a brown background? What would it look like with a navy background? Okay, so just see what those look like because they're very different vibes. And like this one and this one, and then you've got, this one would be really interesting, pretty. This one and this one would be really pretty. Very subtle, some are subtle. And then I have this green with that one. You could do green with this one. And this is the color I use. This is the color mine is. Or you could do green with this one instead of the black. You could do green. So there's lots of options of mirroring things up. So you'll need 2 of the colors and 1 of the solids. That's what you'll need. So that class is going to be September 21st, which is a Saturday, from 12 to 2. Okay, this is editing Phelan again, and I forgot to say goodbye again. I don't know what's happening to me, but I hope you have a good week, and I'll see you in the studio real soon. Bye.